Hello there! Welcome to the next entry into my figure journal. The figure being featured today is Bridget from Guilty Gear. This figure of Bridget is a 1/6 scale done by Phat Company. This version of her is as her design appears in Guilty Gear Strive. She's been getting a lot of figures of her Strive outfit, which I think is great because I'm a huge Bridget fan, so I'm very happy. So I've enjoyed being able to see all the different versions of her that have been coming out from the different companies. I think this one's pose is really fun because her yo-yo is actively out. You get to see a cool VFX with it. Roger's there, perched on her shoulder. They're doing a cute pose. She has the text on her base, which I remember from her reveal trailer. I think overall it's just very dynamic and very fun. Has a lot of good details. And it looks like her. Also a couple of fun little places where there's some movement on her. I didn't expect to be able to move the zipper and then the little chain attached to the handcuff around her hips. Bridget overall is a pretty special character to me. The first time I played Guilty Gear was a version back on the original Xbox. I wasn't familiar with the series, but then when I opened up the character select with my friends and her siblings to just play together with them, I saw Bridget there and I was like, oh, she's so cute. So I selected her, and since then she's just been one of my favorite characters. I love that she ended up with this hoodie version of her old outfit. I think it's just so cool. And yeah, here's just some shots of her. Just want to take some time to admire her and her details. So then after taking some photos and video of her, I go into creating a sticker sheet. So far my sticker sheets for this journal have been me creating a chibi version of the character just to work on my own art style, and then creating several other stickers to use within the journal itself inspired by different aspects of the figure. And then just spending time drawing. And then since I have a printer and cutting machine at home, I make the stickers myself. And here they are all done next to Bridget. By the time I finish, it's nighttime. That's funny. And then getting into making my journal spread. So here's the completed sticker sheets. And then here's some stickers that I created with the photos that I took. And like I mentioned, this is my third entry, so here I am getting to it. I wanted to do a little bit of more layering with the stickers that I made this time, so that's why I ended up putting this piece down before putting down any of the photo stickers. In general, I still don't have a very good system in terms of how I want all of the stickers to look laid out. I have been trying to make them a little bit smaller so I can fit in more of the photos compared to my first journal entry. But in general, I just try to space the stickers around and make sure I leave enough space to write in little notes. And then just using the stickers that I drew to add some decorative flair. And now getting into writing and journaling itself. For each page, I've enjoyed writing in the name of the figure, the size of it, and the company that creates it. I've also been calling out specifically the series that each figure is attached to, somewhere on the journal spread. Overall, I think this figure is super nice. She is one of the bigger figures that I have. I don't actually have too many 1/6 scale figures, so she definitely stands out in that regard. Something else I wanted to call out, which doesn't completely photograph like perfectly, but she has a lot of different paint textures on this figure. So things like her yo-yo and her pendants and stuff have a metallic sheen to them. And then some of the plate, I don't know what to call them, like the tops of the plates. Parts of her shoes basically also have like a shinier texture compared to the fabric. I think it just adds like a nice bit of depth to it. I didn't do this for the last couple entries, but I wanted to do it for this one. I don't know if I'll be able to do it for every single one, but I think taking a picture and showing off the box, especially when it is like a nice looking box, would be fun. And because I did get inspired by the box for some of the stickers that I made, I thought it would be a good idea to call it out. Plus I get to have a box shaped sticker in the journal spread. That's a fun change. Other things I like about her that I'm just writing about here, I think her pose and her wink are very iconic, very cute. Something that I don't like so much, and it's not really as apparent in any of the photos that I ended up including with my journal spread here, which something for me to think about now, but I think this figure does have a really specific angle that you're supposed to display her. And the angle that you display her from looks great, but I did notice, at least to me, her neck looks really, really long from certain angles. At first I thought it was because I didn't push it in all the way, but I definitely have. So she just looks a little bit weird if you're looking at her, photographing her from a certain lower angle. But because of how she's being displayed, it's not really a huge issue, but just something that I wrote down and called out that I noticed because that's the whole point of, this journal. Her base is pretty cool too. Like I mentioned before, I like that it has her little yo-yo mastery phrase. I like that it has some of the like very whimsy, fun visual effect, dust cloud stars coming out from it. The yo-yo also has, this was so hard to photograph actually, but I wanted to have it. But engraved on like each of the bullets on the back of her yo-yo says like yo-yo bullet. And I think that was just like a really nice detail to include. I mentioned before the little like zipper pull that she has on her outfit. You can move it a little bit. You can't like repose it or anything, but it is like funny that it is a well, not functioning, but it has like that little bit of give that a zipper pull would have. And then this one that I'm writing about now is actually my favorite detail shot that I took of her during my little admiration session. I'll put a picture of it on screen so you can have a better look at it. But I think I mentioned earlier that I just am obsessed with a lot of like little mindful details. So for this shot specifically, I was really happy that I was able to capture the drawstrings and their movement. They do have like a little bit of metallic sheen on the little end bits on them. There's a lot of really nice folds in the shirt underneath her hoodie sweater. I think even though you don't see the full figure in this shot, it's one of my favorites because you just get a lot of sense of movement from the fabric in this one. I don't know. I'm not a master photographer, but I thought this shot specifically turned out really cool. And overall, I think Bridget's just a really special character. I'm really happy to have figures of her in my collection. I'm really happy that she's becoming more and more popular because I think she is just like really special. Guilty Gear as a whole has always had really, really solid, really unapologetic character designs. I absolutely admire the series for so many reasons, and that is one of them. And it was so nice to see Bridget again after so long, it feels like. So yeah, I actually have multiple Bridgets in my collection, so I'm excited to share more of them. I have one of her very first ones, so I'm excited to dig into that one in a future entry with you all. Or I'm also excited that they're releasing new figures of her old outfit. I don't know. I think it's cool. I love Bridget. I just always want more Bridget. Oh yeah, so this Bridget has an alternate piece. So I wanted to call that out here because sometimes I forget which figures of mine have different alternate pieces. So I thought this journal would be a perfect way to remind me of the pieces that I have. So I can like look at this journal and be like, oh, I actually want to display her with her alternate head. So she has her hood down instead of up. I hope you had fun seeing the highlights of the figure, seeing how aspects of Bridget and her box translated into some sticker sheets, and then seeing the whole journal spread come together. This has been a really fun and fulfilling project for me, so I'm excited to keep working on it. And here's the final spread. So thank you for joining me on this next entry as I yapped about Bridget. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!